Hugely. And but I think there are ways we temper it and we help recalibrate an understanding of it. You know, the first thing is that, you know, one of the things that you learn a lot about business and industry is the idea of Kaizen, you know, that Japanese term, which is all about tiny incremental changes, just things that appear insignificant. And if what you do is you keep building on what you think is insignificant in order to tweak and just slightly change, what you actually lead to is momentum and continuous transformation. You know, what we've got to stop believing in education, and partly it's because of the way we've been managed and led for generations, is that everything has to be followed by a fanfare and a big announcement, a change program, a big new idea. And what we have to be better about is taking ownership of that as a community, being more Kaizen about our change. You know, one thing I often say to people around change is that actually it should be as indistinguishable as the daily growth of your own children, right? You know what I mean? When we've got kids, you don't see the change every minute of every hour of every day, but you look at a photo of them 6 months ago and you're, oh my goodness, I can't believe how much my child's grown, right? And that's how it should feel, because change, the way it's implemented in schools mostly, is top down. And by top down, I mean above administrator grade, you know, really top down. It's usually reactive. So it's reacting to an event or something that's gone on curricular-wise, behavior-wise, whatever it might be. And what that leads to is complete exhaustion, because no one at any stage ever feels that they have a sense of ownership. So what we have to do in schools, and I think you're right, I think it's a really interesting issue that you raise. We have to create clarity of our sense of vision and purpose. And I'm not talking about, you know, the big vision statements about how much we care about each other and all that stuff, which is fine. But what I mean is the real idea of what is our sense of purpose. And I go back to what I said to you before. If you have a conversation about, so, okay, guys, what do we want our students to look like as human beings when they pass out of our final grade in our school? You start to have a clarity. And that conversation is not just had with the staff, by the way. It should be had with the other stakeholders. You know, it should be had with the board. It should be had at administrative level. It should be had with parents. It should be had with students themselves. Because what you need to do is embrace a culture where everybody has a shared responsibility for transformation. And for me, that's the key.